Hi.
Oh, God.
Are you hungover?
No, it was just loud.
I usually stay at a steady monotone, so I understand it was a bit jarring.
Yeah, it was a lot.
I guess.
How was your week?
It was pretty mellow. I got a really gnarly stinger the previous week, so I basically did not train all this week.
Oh, no.
I've been recuperating.
Oh, man.
Yeah, fun.
Stingers.
Oh my goodness.
They take you out sometimes.
They do.
Well, I've just been kind of training, getting back into the groove of things, maybe thinking about doing another tournament, but I'm hoping I get some news soon. I just saw that my last opponent just booked the fight. Mm-hmm. So I forget who she's fighting, but I was like, that bitch. How do you get fights before me? I won. So hopefully it'll be happening soon. And I've been begging for the Lucindo fight. I think that would be a really good matchup for me. And has a good number by her name where I could like do that little sneaky climb up. So that's the fight I really want to make.
But what about your call out?
Oh, I would love that fight, but she needs more than 8 weeks to get ready. She needs more than 8 weeks to make weight.
What?
Did you not see the response?
No.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God. Tell me, where have I been?
Okay, so she responded, because we actually follow each other. I actually think she's pretty cool, but I did not like her kind of going the shitty route with me after my call out. I felt like my call out was pretty classy.
The butthole, the puckering thing.
No, she didn't even see that. I'm just saying, all I said was she had the chance to retire me and she decided not to. Mm-hmm. She had the chance to try to retire me and she decided not to. She responded saying she's like ranked higher, she doesn't need to fight me, blah, blah, blah. But when that fight offer actually happened, I was ranked higher than her. And I was like, let's go. 8 weeks, easy peasy. And she said that she needs more than 8 weeks in order to make strawweight.
Okay.
So that's her story, and she's sticking to it. Now she's ranked higher than me because, the rankings are BS. But hopefully I'll be able to get a matchup within the next 8 weeks, and I won't have to wait 10 to 12 to 14 weeks for that hoe to make weight.
Because you can make weight in 2.
I can make weight in 2 days.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Just in case you guys weren't sure what she meant. Not 2 weeks. 2 days.
Like Tamara.
Yeah.
Fine.
Like it's not an issue for me. I'm not a weight bully. But it is what it is. So I might do like a grappling tournament or something to stay ready. But I've been having fun training. So I'm going to stick with that for the next few weeks and try not to float around too much. It was a lot of traveling last month.
Yeah, that'll take it out of you real quick.
Yeah.
And it's better to be on a schedule too, just for like the mind gets you off of the emotional roller coaster kind of thing. It's good to have structure in your life,
Just be centered.
It's like really important for kids to have structure, dogs to have structure. It's important for athletes to have structure.
Interesting.
To get all cagey.
I know, poor Butcher's been running around to all his cousins' houses, but yeah, now I get to spend some time with him, with my husband, with my friends, and it'll be a good week or a good month. So UFC was actually pretty far away this time too. They were in Canada and in Montreal for like the first time in 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was interesting. What did you think about the promotion of 315? Because it felt like you didn't really hear that much about it.
No, and everybody kind of like honed in on the fact that the venue wasn't sold out, but there was I think their hockey team was in the playoffs. There's like a lot of other stuff.
The real
a lot of more
happening.
important things that they care about up there going on. Yeah, I think it was a bit lackluster. But what did you think of the fights rather than the promotion? I thought there were some good fights.
There were some good fights. I was a little exhausted once we got to the co-main and the main, though.
2 title fights is very hard for me,
especially when they go to distance.
Yeah.
2 title fight decisions. That's an hour.
That's
at least an hour of your time.
Between the commercial breaks, the promos, the build-up, the this, the that, and the other. But I will say this was definitely Bilal Muhammad's most exciting fight.
Because he lost.
No.
So rude. They're right. Everyone is right about us. We hate. No, it was a really exciting fight. I agree. And I wasn't sure if Bilal was gonna take it or not. Like I was in the minority that was like, oh, it's a close fight. But I think most people were like, Bilal's getting his butt kicked right now.
I think maybe he won 1 round.
He won 1 round, and that actually was the round where I thought he got hurt the most.
Mm-hmm.
The 4th round. I felt like Jack Della was like putting it on him that round. So I was like, I felt like that was a strong. I think I was a little tipsy.
I definitely had to rewatch some fights this morning because again, it was a long night of fights, and that usually for me equals 1.5 bottles of wine.
Oh, wow. 1.5. Dang.
Yeah, 1.5.
That's a high ABP.
It is. I think I'm feeling it this morning.
Yeah.
I was like, why is it so
face.
slow this morning? Oh, that's me.
Yeah. Dude, after the Aldo fight, I was done. The Aldo fight took it out of me. I was like excited. I was screaming. Then I was disappointed. Like I went through the whole emotional roller coaster. And then we had Shevchenko versus Fury.
Yeah, it's like I watched his whole career in one fight.
That was crazy.
Just right there.
It was crazy.
And I thought he won. I thought he
course.
had 2 rounds. I thought he had 2 rounds.
I would have given him all 3. He got closest to finishing in the round.
I was like, we could have had a draw round.
Yeah.
We could have had a draw fight.
That 3rd round to me, I felt like should have gone to Aldo, but I feel like that's also me being in the minority. But when you're looking at damage, when you're looking at who came closest to finishing the fight, he kicked his head around the octagon.
He soccer kicked him.
Like
twice.
2-3 times. And then
it was incredible.
It was amazing. And then he gassed really hard. Guy got on top. He gave him a couple little cuts on his forehead, but they weren't like day-ending, like life-ending lacerations. Like the bias in me is probably speaking, but I still would have given the 3rd round to Aldo.
When I watched it again this morning, I was like, okay, I could see how they would give Zahabi the 3rd round just because he had it for more than half of the round. He had Aldo in a bad position. He controlled. And this guy, when I was watching footage on Zahabi before, I was like, man, this guy gets gifted fights. And he's in Canada, so there's my conspiracy. But it was good. He did what he needed to do in the sense that he poured on the volume when he saw Jose Aldo being vulnerable and kind of stepping off the gas pedal from fatigue or from whatever it was. He was playing the game really well. His whole camp, his cornerman, his brother Zahabi, his coach, tends to have a really good game planned, and they play the game very well. So it was okay, but I still thought no. So I am trying to think of words to be supportive of this, but no,
even if you don't look at the 3rd round, the 1st and the 2nd were Jose Aldo's rounds. Like he was landing more, he was pushing the pace, he was doing the most damage in those rounds, and Zahabi was just kind of like staying active. He was just like being defensive. He wasn't really like landing anything or doing anything that would make you think, okay, he's about to take over in this fight. If anything, the momentum was fully on Jose Aldo's side until the 3rd. And then the 3rd, he just turned on viciously. Almost got my prediction right with the Aldo by TKO prediction, but just didn't have enough juice. But I do have to say I'm a little less mad about it because of the weight cut thing.
See, the thing is, I wasn't mad about the weight.
No.
Because it's Jose Aldo. I'm like, you know what? It's fine.
I know, right?
It's fine.
It's fine. He's a legend.
Just
He should be fighting at 170 like fucking Conor McGregor. Like then, like he should be doing whatever he wants. Like we should be honored that he's still gracing us with his presence.
That's exactly the mindset I have. I was when they announced that it was now a catchweight or being moved up. I was like, it's fine. I'm not even mad at him. Honestly, he's done so much in his career for the sport. He's such an amazing champion. I'm just like, you know what? He's at that point in his career where he can.
Yeah. Do you think that might have had anything to do with the scorecards? The fact that Jose Aldo was about to miss weight, and maybe one of the judges felt like they had to do Zahabi a solid? Because I always wonder if that comes into play when judges
There's the
scoring.
human bias, something like that. You know what? I mean,
like, oh, that poor guy.
Yeah, we're all human, and I think that people just can't help but have biased tendencies towards certain things. I would think I would lean more on the side that Zahabi is a Canadian, and we were fighting in Canada. I lean more towards that in the judging scope for biases. But I don't know if the weight had. But it's a fair question.
So we have a new judge to add to the list.
Oh, God.
Pascal Procopio.
Is he a Canadian?
You're on the list. I don't know who he is, but his name sounds very suspect. He sounds
like a dictator.
He could be, French Canadian dictator. Yeah, if you look up his name, the first thing 16 hours ago on Reddit is who the hell is Pascal Procopio?
What did he do? Tell us what he did.
So it wasn't just the Aldo fight where he scored it for Zahabi. He scored round 2 and 3 for Zahabi. He also gave the guy who fought Ian Cutelaba 30-27.
That's the guy.
Who did Cutelaba fight? Bukaskas. He gave Bukaskas the most BS scoring 30-27 for him when Ian Cutelaba solidly won the first 2 rounds. And I would argue the third too. But Ian Cutelaba looked on form in this fight. There's no way you could score against him 30-27.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
And Pascal Procopio, you're on the list. Sal D'Amato also scored for Bukaskas, and a lot of people were just like, what the heck just happened? Yeah.
These guys.
You're in bad company, Pascal.
Yeah, you don't want your name asterisked against, right next to that guy's.
No, you don't.
That means you're in the naughty list.
Even though me and Sal are cool right now. But there's always next time.
It's a fickle friendship. It's a fine line.
So when you look at the media scores, these are the media people who were actually there at the fights. You have 2 people scoring 29-28 for Zahabi.
Are they Canadian?
Drake Riggs and Eric Richter.
Drake Riggs, say it isn't so. I'm unfollowing.
Oh, no. And then Eric Richter of the NY Post, which isn't a real news. Which isn't real
Fake.
news. So, I lost it. But you had those 2 who scored it for Guy. And then everyone else was 12 people scored it for Aldo. A couple draws in there, too. So I feel like that would have been fair as well. But
yeah, I could have given it. I could have done the draw thing with that.
Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed in that one. So all my emotions were just kind of drained after that fight. But let's go back to Jack Della Maddalena surprising a lot of people. I did polls. We both did our picks. We all thought Bilal was going to handle this guy.
Well, if you look at how Jack Della showed up with Gilbert Burns, he had Gilbert Burns. Again, he knocked him out in the 3rd round after being taken down repeatedly. But if I look at that kind of fight and then I match him up with Bilal, I see potentially the same thing happening. Getting taken down, getting controlled. But Jack Della proved us all wrong. And he put on an amazing display of striking and footwork, takedown defense. He was on fire last night.
Yeah,
That was so fun to watch.
It was. And just his hands are so nasty. Like every time he landed clean on Bilal, and it wasn't super often, but when he was able to get into the pocket and land clean on Bilal, it made a big difference. It had him desperation shooting. It had him just like second guessing when to come in. And you haven't seen Bilal look like that, look vulnerable like that in so long.
He's normally the bully.
Yeah.
He's normally going forward, imposing his game plan. And I mean, to be fair, we saw in his last fight with oh my gosh. Help me.
With Leon Edwards?
Thank you. With Leon Edwards, we saw him just completely dominant, but that was also a combination of Leon Edwards not being offensive.
Yeah,
he was kind of asleep in that fight.
Yeah, it was another one where you're kind of like, man, what's next for Leon Edwards, more so than how good is Bilal Muhammad?
Yeah.
And like, I think he did that to him. I think if Leon Edwards fought a lesser opponent, he would have been able to do like a classic Leon Edwards performance. But Jack Della didn't have that quit in him. Like he definitely didn't. When the takedowns happened, he was scrambling before his butt hit the ground. You know, like he was sprawling. He was doing all the things that he needed to do, and he had Craig Jones in his corner. Like he had Craig Jones in his camp the entire time.
Did you see Craig Jones' promo for the fight?
The cop call?
No, did you see?
Oh,
He said
there was
he
so
said,
much promo.
it was so good. He was just he was saying that he got a phone call asking, you know, to make sure Jack Della won because he needs to save the division. They need Bilal out. So it was,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw a pretty funny one where he is calling the cops on Bilal. Basically, they like did a little skit, and he's like, "Yeah, I'd like to report an assault. Bilal Muhammad attacked me," and then he pauses and he's like, "No, of course I'm not hurt." And I'm like, "Oh my god, oh my god, yeah, that guy is pure comedy, man.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's really good. There was a wild thing that happened with Craig Jones's camp, B Team. Did you see that thing?
I've seen all of it.
Yeah. What do you know anything about it? I just saw the social media post.
So basically, one of their, you know, head people was caught by his girlfriend. His girlfriend went through his phone and found files, and he didn't post these. He wasn't sharing these, but he found files of like girls at the gym being deep faked and some really just like inappropriate, degenerate activity.
Okay.
And again, he did not post this all. It was found because somebody went through his phone. But it basically raised a lot of red flags because it crossed a line.
So he had girls on the team like deep faked in like porno things.
That's
like,
basically what is going around.
ugh.
Yeah. And again, it wasn't leaked out, but somebody found it and then somebody told, and Craig Jones and the other, you know, head people at the gym basically had to step in and say like, hey, we can't allow this, and you've got to go.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
It is.
That's so complicated.
It really is.
Because like, I don't know. Like I don't want to be anti-feminist, but like it's still kind of private.
Exactly. So,
you
and it feels weird talking about this because I am a female and I'm at a gym. And
I would not want to know if that was on a friend or a training partner's phone. Like I wouldn't want to know that. And I would probably want them kicked out of the gym if I found out about it. But I would also feel bad that they are embarrassed for their kink. For the rest of their life, and they're like, I don't know, just like painted as a pervert for the rest of their life.
Yeah, and it's a weird kind of thing because he wasn't doing anything with it. And again, we haven't seen anything. We don't know exactly what was on it. It's like a lot of speculation and a lot of just doing damage control before like anything could possibly like come out about it.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a weird one. So he was doing something privately on his phone and keeping the files to himself, but somebody went through his phone and now everybody knows.
Damn.
It's kind of a weird area for me.
Let me see your phone.
No.
Exactly. Lock your phones and don't put it on your phone. Put it in like a weird hard drive and stash it in the lockbox somewhere.
They have keep-safe apps where you need like a secondary, passcode to get in there.
Yeah, 2-point authentications. What is it?
He's young.
Something keys. Yo, that you fucked up, bro.
Yeah, he was young. You live and you learn.
Yeah, that's a shame.
It is.
It was that, who was it? It was that Nicky Rod guy?
His brother.
His brother.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know who that is.
J-Rod.
J-Rod. Okay.
Hold on, I have it in my files. I actually brought it.
Thing. You have it in your files. What else
No.
do you have? You have any deep fakes of me?
Oh.
Get kicked out. Damn, that's crazy. So I did see that the girls who spoke out about it got a lot of hate online.
What did they get hate for?
For speaking out about it.
What was people's opinions?
Just I don't know. I feel like people had similar opinions to us. Like, yeah, that sucks and that's creepy, but it's also private, so it kind of sucks that he's being painted in this way. But I think, if anything, it's no one's business, but the gyms. And if the decision is to kick the guy out, there was probably more to it than just this one instance. Like, I feel like if you're ever going to make a decision like that as a team leader, as a coach, as a business owner, there's a reason to doing what you do. Like, the punishment probably fit the crime. If you know what I mean? Like, we don't know all the details, and they probably aren't going to put all the details out there, especially because it's like a really odd situation. But I feel like the punishment probably fit the crime. Maybe he was warned for other things. Like, who knows what happened, but like, for whatever reason, this seemed like the best option to go about, and you got to respect their decisions.
I appreciate that, they care about the safety of the females in the gym. I appreciate that they're, standing on business and drawing a hard line in the sand. I think as a business owner, you have to do that. And I think that, we have to make a safe place for females in the gym, for everyone in the gym.
Yeah.
Like, if whatever it is, whatever have you, the gym is a sanctuary to a lot of people. It should remain that.
And it's such an uncomfortable thing too, to be like, wrapped around someone else's body for half of a class, a stranger, most likely of a different gender. Like, these are really uncomfortable situations that you're putting yourself in. And if you think there's a sexual deviant in the mist, like, it makes jiu-jitsu so much more awkward. It's kind of hard to avoid, getting rid of someone who has put a lot of the women on the team in this situation.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Damn. Well, aside from that, his coaching seemed pretty good, because Jack Della's grappling was on point.
No, I've taken one of his seminars before. He did a seminar at Legion previously, and he's like spot on. He's a great coach. He's a great personality. Like, just his technical savvy and his way of breaking things down, and just his insight into, combat sports is pretty incredible.
And the accent does it too, right?
It really helped. And he's funny.
Yeah. My first coach was Australian. My first Muay Thai coach was Australian, and he was pretty lewd, like pretty funny too. So I really feel like if I had started with someone who was more dry and like had less of a sense of humor and not as funny of a voice, I wouldn't have stuck with it. It's just like, oh, we're gonna go watch that TV show we like. You know what I mean? Like the Brandon show. The Brandon teaches us Muay Thai show, and it's gonna be fun and entertaining. Like, that really gets people to like join your flock when you have this important, like really charismatic personality and a funny accent. It helps.
It does. I mean, I can speak on that, like mostly because our coach Johnny, Faria. Like he's one of those really charismatic people where I had kind of lost my drive for jiu-jitsu.
Aw.
Yeah, and then meeting him and getting to learn from him and be in the same room from him, his energy is contagious. He's just a really great energy to be around, and he makes you excited about it. He makes he makes me excited about jiu-jitsu. He makes me happy and want to do good for him.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm a grappler now, so like, same thing happened with me. Johnny just revived that part of my fighting style. But it really does it for you. And Jack Della, like they were posting videos of him choking Craig Jones out. You don't know if it was real or not, but all that like social media boosting and everything, I felt like it closed the gap where you thought maybe Jack Della wasn't gonna be as sharp as he was in this last fight because of the long layoff. But yeah, that was a great fight. Congrats to the new. We didn't expect it, but it happened. And what do you think is next for that division? Because, like, I don't think people were planning for this. I think people were feeling like he's just filling in for Shavkat. Bilal beats Jack Della, and then Shavkat gets to come back and when his knee is fixed.
Well, they talked about, the champ, the 155 champ moving up to 170 and challenging. And that was, I know they alluded to that a lot.
Okay.
That Makhachev was going to go up if Della won.
Okay.
Specifically if Della won.
Because that's not his boy.
Yes.
Okay.
They are not brothers.
He did not spend 2 years in Dagestan and forget. He did not.
No, he's so they said that is what is next.
Okay. Dang. So,
but he also said that he's not vacating the 155, which is supposed to, like, that's what's supposed to happen. But he's saying, no, that will not happen with me.
Dang, that's right. Well, there is kind of a log jam in 155 at the top. Like, there's a lot of guys who've already challenged, who've lost against Islam or have lost recently against another top fiver. So there is like a bit of a log jam. I'm okay with Islam keeping a 155 belt, but I do feel bad for all the guys. Like, there are a lot of guys who deserve that title shot after Jack Della Maddalena, and they're going to have to be waiting.
Yeah. I think that we could have, I think Shavkat is out until 2026, I saw.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he had to have surgery. We have Ian Gary just, waiting in the wings for his shot. And then we have a really interesting fight with Buckley and Usman that could also catapult. And so I think it comes down for these ones because we do have quite a bit of options. And Sean Brady, you can't forget about him. He's now the number one contender. I think that it's going to come down to who can promote the fight the best.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's the most exciting option.
For sure. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that. And hopefully Islam doesn't ruin too many people's like Christmas bonuses, because that's like, if you're top 5 and you either won your fight or you're waiting for the next fight, you might not want to fight. Like, you might just want to wait.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
and,
why fight
and that's
and
their
ruin
right.
that opportunity?
Exactly.
Yeah,
so you never know what can happen.
We might see Sean Brady doing Uber Eats for a year, waiting for his next payday.
No, he's made some bank this last year,
Okay.
Mr. Bags. I think he's okay for a little while.
All right. Well, what did you think about the ladies? Manon Fiorot tried to take the belt from Valentina Shevchenko, and I was so surprised they did not put respect on Shevchenko's name. She was the underdog.
It was really strange, right?
What the fuck?
I know.
Did they not see her last fight?
I guess not.
Did they not see her last 3? Maybe they saw her last 3.
They weren't paying attention. They weren't paying attention.
They're like, Grasso lost. It's bullshit.
So
we hate both of you.
Well, you had kind of you have like a mystique with Manon. Like, she's been doing really well, and she's had some good performances. She's so big and powerful, and so you had a lot of unknown factors. And I think the way that she looked against previous opponents, you kind of, I guess the odds makers kind of questioned how the fight would go.
Yeah.
And what Shevchenko would be able to do. Shevchenko did have, sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Shevchenko did have, some trouble taking her down at will. And Manon actually, was the one pushing the action against the cage and just really stifling the output. So I maybe that's the way they saw it would go.
Mm. Yeah, I get that. I get, like, when you have someone who hasn't been beaten in forever. Her last loss was actually Leah McCourt. You remember when she came through to Alliance?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? That was her last loss back
Wow.
in 2018. So it was a split decision.
What weight was that at, though? That was that
138.
Oh, okay.
Catch weight.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I was going to say, Leah's huge.
Yeah, I'm not sure who needed the catch weight, but, like, yeah, she fought that girl. And that was her first fight, her last loss. So since then, she's been undefeated until Shevchenko. So a lot of times when that happens, you have a huge streak. Shevchenko's dropped a few recently, whether it was a fluke or not, people remember that. Mm-hmm. They also remember her not looking as great against Talia Santos, who was also a big girl. It was tough to take down. But what I saw from Shevchenko's last fight is that she closed a lot of those holes. She veered away from the sacrifice throws and got more into, like, regular just double legs, single legs, foot sweeps, the type of stuff where you're not kind of leaning over backwards and allowing them to hip over and get on top. And that's something that people saw Manon be able to do when she fought Erin Blanchfield. Mm-hmm. So I think people were kind of seeing the Blanchfield fight and they're like, we remember, the Talia fight, and we think she can just use her bigness to stay on top and take down on the takedowns, and the takedown is the only way for Shevchenko to win the fight. But that wasn't true. Shevchenko was able to nail her with those right hooks. She was able to hit her coming in. She was able to do damage. And I feel like the visible damage was really what won her the fight, because the rounds were pretty close, especially the last round. And I think it was 2-2 going into the fourth or going into the fifth.
Sorry, my hat is I know. I'm a little dehydrated, choking on my coffee. Girl should have had some water before.
Oh my god.
I have to give some big respect to Manon for being able to tough through that broken nose that she got in the first round. That was awful. Luckily, it was bleeding on the outside, hopefully not too much on the inside. It didn't seem to zap her gas tank. But man, it just looked so painful. And she was still grinding away. And that nose was getting just rubbed all which ways, and that was so painful every single time that thing was touched.
How does that feel? I've never had a broken nose before.
You don't want to. It hurts.
No, it looks horrible.
It feels horrible.
The thing that, like, the pain isn't even the thing that freaks me out about it. It's everyone says that when you break your nose and the blood is dripping down your throat, like, it feels like you're getting waterboarded.
Yeah.
That
happened to me in my title fight.
That's horrible.
Yeah, no.
That's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Ugh.
It's terrible.
Ugh. Like, I have dreams of drowning. Like, nightmares, rather.
We taught you how to swim in the tough house. You're not going to drown.
Oh, God, no. It's not fun for me. Like, I tried the deep end fitness thing, the fucking, what is it? The torpedo.
Oh, Torpedo League?
Yeah, no, it's not for me.
Yeah, that one's a little bit weird. And I'm like, I used to swim. Like, I'm pretty comfortable in the water, but that whole aspect is pretty uncomfortable.
Just walking around underwater, getting comfortable, not being able to breathe, that kind of thing.
That's fine. No,
or
the actual like game, because it's like grappling underwater. Like,
oh yeah, no, I never did the game. It was just the stuff that they do in order to get you ready for the game.
No, that's fine.
I'm like,
that's fine, but don't
no,
touch me. Don't try and submit me.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It is crazy. It turns into like a underwater grapple match. Somebody has the torpedo and everybody just tries to like cling to you and like grapple you.
Oh my God.
I'm like, no, here, take it.
Guys, check out what is it called? Underwater Torpedo League.
Yeah.
If you
Or
want to
check out Deep End Fitness, and then they have a lot of clips of the Underwater Torpedo League.
Yeah.
It's
Liz Carmouche is actually like pretty good at it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she loves that shit.
Yeah, she's really good at it.
Because she's evil. She's like, I'm going to drown you, and then I'm going to take your ball. That's her way of winning. Like, first I'll kill them, then I take the torpedo.
I just have to make sure that I make them cry and feel as sad as possible.
They won't know they're crying because they're underwater.
It's terrible.
Oh my God. Yeah. So that feeling, I can't even imagine trying to fight through that.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. That's horrible.
It's terrible.
That's horrible.
I hope you never
kudos
experienced
to
it.
her. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Everyone thought I experienced it in my last fight, but it was just a scratch.
A scratch.
Just a scratch in the bridge.
It's fine.
Yeah, but that fight was it was pretty awesome. Even though I was exhausted, already from all the beers and the robbery of my favorite fighter. It was a really entertaining fight, and it just added to the mystique of Valentina Shevchenko because she's beating the best of the best at 37. Mm-hmm. Like, she's just going to keep going. And it's really cool to imagine who's going to challenge for the belt next.
Well, I think we have a contender now after Natalia Silva.
Yes. I mean, she definitely has a chance. Like, she has looked phenomenal in her fights coming up to this. And even though she didn't get the finish in this one, she has destroyed a lot of girls on her way to the top and just completely dominated Grasso, too, in a way that only Shevchenko's been able to.
Yeah, I think
in her third try. Not her first and second, but in her third.
I think in her second one, she actually won.
Yeah, but she didn't dominate.
No, not dominate.
Yeah, this was a very, very clear.
It was a shutdown.
Yeah, shutdown of Grasso, but it's also the way she fights. Like, Natalia Silva, she fights in a way where it's like she's gonna hit you hard, and then as soon as you're like, why Ayada, she's out of there.
She's so fast.
Mm-hmm.
So fast, such amazing movement, and it's kind of rare to see someone that is more of like a backwards fighter, a counter fighter, somebody who circles a lot, be so aggressive.
Yeah,
it's kind of a dichotomy for me.
Yeah.
You don't see it very often, but she just really pulls people in, attacks, and then she's out.
Mm-hmm. It's like swatting at air, like what. Come back here, fight me like a man. And she's like, no, I will fight you like a taekwondo girl. And she like does her little feints with her bottom. Like, it's kind of funny to watch her move because it's like those TikToks where they cut off the half of the body and the top half is doing something and then the bottom half is like doing like an Irish jig or something like, you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
That's what she looks like. Like, it looks like the two halves of her body are completely different people.
They're on different rhythms.
Yeah, they are. Like her legs are going all over the place. Her hips are twitching. You don't know if she's about to like question mark kick you or throw a spinning thing or throw a 1-2. Like, I can imagine being in front of her because usually when someone has good feints, it's easier to read from the outside within, like as a viewer, I'm like, okay, she's feigning, she's doing this, that. I can kind of tell what she's going to do, even though I'm not in front of her. To be in front of that person sucks.
No, it's like over here, bam.
Yeah.
Over here. Oh, no, over here, wham.
Yeah, to be in front of that person, trying to focus and trying to land your own shit, you don't know what's going on. So for me, watching Natalia Silva as a spectator and not knowing what she's going to throw either, I'm just like, yo, it would suck to be Grasso right now.
Oh, no, and you could see it. I mean, Grasso's a very composed fighter. She always comes in with a good game plan, but this time she had a couple moments of success, but was never able to capitalize on those. And it looked like a very frustrating night for her.
Yeah, there was that moment in the second, right? Like right at the very end where she finally got her up against the wall. And that's kind of what you have to do against a fighter like that. Like, you have to cut them off. She's good at circling. Like, she goes one way, She goes the other way. She'll go bop, 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 bop until she's out and back into the center of the octagon where she's going to have space to do her run and gun thing. Grasso was finally able to pin her up against the wall and throw combinations, but then at the end, she got lumped up too.
That's the game plan that I thought she was going to be able to execute. It was kind of like a page out of who she fought, Araujo.
Yes.
And again, Araujo's a big, strong fighter, and she's more of a stalker kind of pressure fighter. And she was able to get Natalia Silva up against the cage and not necessarily like have success in getting damage, but she was able to pin her up against there. And I thought that was the game plan that Grasso would be able to execute. However, she just couldn't get her feet to do it.
Yeah. She was a little slow in there and not like not slow like hand speed wise, but just as soon as she set her feet to do something, Silva was out.
Yeah.
And she also had patience too. Like a lot of people aren't going to play that game for the entire round, that running game where you start to think about the crowd. You start to think about the score and like what the judges are seeing and the fact that you got to land something eventually. She was very patient in playing that game and did just enough to just be like, bam, I won the round.
No, she's very like Lyoto Machida-esque.
Yeah.
You know, he'll lull you, he'll do his whole thing, and then he has potentially one big explosion that could win him the fight, but you're waiting for it the whole time.
Yeah.
Just a lot of patience.
Dude, it was crazy. So I'm excited about that fight. I think she's adorable too. And she's speaking English. The Brazilian girl is like really working hard on her English just so she can become a bigger star. I think all those things lead to her being a really impressive champion if she's able to get past Shevchenko. Yeah, so we'll see if that happens. But another thing people are saying is that we might have a champ fight with Weili and Shevchenko.
Interesting. Is that going to logjam up the division though? Because now we have a couple people in the flyweight division that are top contenders.
Right. Like you said, Natalia Silva, she's definitely a huge player in this. Macy Barber, if she's able to get past Blanchfield, that's something that could possibly be a thing. I feel like that's it for the flyweights. But then poor Virna, just coming off of a win off of Zhao Nan Yan, she's going to be jammed up too. And like Virna looked impressive. Like she looked amazing against Zhao Nan Yan. Her
striking finally looked like she was a striker instead of just a grappler trying to put punches out there to disguise a takedown.
Yeah, and Zhao Nan Yan, she's very hard to submit as well. And Virna got extremely close multiple times in that fight. Yeah. So I feel like Virna's earned her spot, but she's always gonna be looked past. Like nobody wants Virna. Like why doesn't anyone want to fight Virna? She's
not promoting herself.
She is. She
not the way that the general public are resonating with.
So you want Virna to show her ass? Like, do we need to deep fake Virna so that she can get a title shot?
No, don't do that to her. Nobody deserves that.
Nobody deserves
that.
Virna,
no, go do TikTok dances.
She has promoted herself. She did the thing with Hawani's show. Like, I forget what it was, but she did something. And then he put her photo in his studio. I forget what it was. That was a long time ago. But basically, she's done the work. She's won the fights. She was gonna fight Tatiana Suarez. They snatched that opportunity away from her. Suarez was able to get the shot. Now it's Virna's turn. Like she deserves the shot.
Oh, undeniably.
I would be disappointed if they were to give Weili that fight and make Virna fight yet again in order to keep her spot as the next contender.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah, and I think everyone agrees, but the people who, write the checks and make the money, they don't want to see Virna take away their money bag of Weili. Mm-hmm. Not just yet. A champ fight is definitely something that's going to make more money than Weili defending the belt against Virna. It just sucks. You want it to be merit-based and you want it to just be like fair and everything, but man, she's earned her spot for sure, and I'm gonna be disappointed if she doesn't get it.
Vote for Vierna. We should make shirts.
Oh yeah, we should make. We should with her little hat. Everyone wears the hat and make the shirts and get flags and everything.
Yeah, I think
Vierna for title contender.
We're lobbying her.
Yeah, you can do it. Oh shit. What did I do? No, we're gonna move on.
I look away for 1 second and I missed it.
It's okay.
Oh.
It's okay. We're moving on.
Okay.
So Benoît Saint-Denis, did you see that one?
Oh yeah. So the biggest betting favorite on the card. I think that was a pretty safe bet. You called it by submission.
Hey,
Well done. I had him by winner by TKO, which was in sight. At a couple of moments, it was there, but that had an arm.
He just wanted you to be wrong.
I know. It's okay.
He's
like, I could be wrong.
He was like, you know what? Take down.
No, we talked about that.
Yeah, because you know what? Fuck you, Jess. Take down.
Whatever.
And wins.
I was just doing too well on my predictions. Had to throw a wrench in it.
Oh, how'd your pennies picks do this week?
You know what? I think I batted like 60-40.
That's good. That's still good. Yeah.
It's all right.
They still came out on top if you did like equal for each bet, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right. Can't be great all the time.
Oh.
It's all right. That's why it's betting. Yeah, it was a good fight for him. He's had kind of a tough run with it, fighting like the top of the top contenders. You know, he's dropped a couple to the top 5, but I thought this was pretty much a lock, which it was. Poor Prepelic. He had dropped 2 in the UFC. They cut him, and he's been doing really well on like the regional circuits. And then he stepped in on short notice. Hopefully the UFC is going to do him a solid for doing them a solid. So we'll be seeing him again.
Yeah, hopefully. Do you know what happened with his original opponent, Joel Alvarez? What happened with that guy?
It was an undisclosed injury. They haven't really revealed anything. I don't know if it was major or minor.
Yeah.
But big enough deal to take him out of a fight against, a very dangerous opponent.
Yeah, man. And they were like, we're keeping Saint Denis on here because,
Need somebody to speak French to the...
You gotta.
Guys from Montreal.
Yeah, you gotta. Well, there was one more fight we wanted to talk about. The ladies. We had one of our old foes, Jessica Andrade, doing her jump up the flyweight again. But she had to face Jasmine Duicious. And she was, as we like to say, Duicious.
It's just, I mean, it was a perfect fight. You know, Jasmine pressed her back, got her down, took her back, got the submission. It's the size and strength advantage that Jessica Andrade has at strawweight is just not there.
No.
At flyweight.
No, she tries to fight the same way though, I feel like.
You can't.
And you can't. Like the thing is, I think for Andrade, like she had success fighting people who are the same size as someone like Jasmine Duicious. Like I would say that Joanna is kind of like similar build and everything, but she's not the same like solidness and strength and girth and weight. You know, like she's like no one making 115 is gonna be as big as someone making 125 and rehydrated the next day. So I feel like you have this false sense of just like what you can do at that weight class, and she's been getting beat up at 125.
Yeah.
I feel like
we saw her
at least against the elites. Like who was it that she totally destroyed at 125? It was Lauren.
Was it Murphy?
Lauren Murphy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that wasn't that long ago. But since then, it's been hard for her to really like get a couple good wins at 125.
Yeah, she was kind of like a 50-50 fighter at 135, and she's kind of the same at 125 these days. It's just when you don't have that size and strength and power advantage over someone, you have to change your style. Mm-hmm. And we saw her a little bit more hesitant, just a little bit less typical Andrade that we see her like really imposing herself at strawweight.
Yeah, I feel like she's just showing up for a paycheck a little bit when she does 125. Like that's kind of how it looks. Like once it got to the ground, you didn't see a lot of urgency. Like maybe it was just because Jasmine was super heavy. She was on top. She was doing all the right things, but like it looked like Andrade wasn't awake yet. She was, and then she was asleep. And then the choke happened. So it really seems like that. Like maybe she's doing the UFC a solid by showing up for these fights that she's like undersized for. You don't have to cut the weight, so it seems like an easy payday. Like you still have to train hard, but like you don't have to train as hard if you're cutting 30 pounds in order to make 115. So I don't know, like it's a weird one, but she's definitely been able to make a lot of money jumping weight classes, going from one to the other, because she had a year where she fought like 7 times in 365 days because she was able to fight in both weight classes, but she wasn't very successful at 125.
No, not at all. It's hard at that level, trying to fight within the top 10 and jumping weight. Like you're gonna
lose something.
Yeah.
Some kind of advantage that you get from just being strictly in that weight class.
Yeah. At some point, you just really have to make a decision.
Yeah, but going to Jasmine Duicious, looking vicious. Her last loss was Tracy Cortez by decision. Her loss before that was Natalia Silva. But other than that, she has been perfect in the UFC. So I'm expecting her to start making a case for title contention as well, especially after a win over Jessica Andrade, who did fight for the belt.
Yeah, I see her. Right now she's ranked at number 9. I expect her to jump up a couple spots potentially. Jessica Andrade was number 7, so maybe take her spot. Oh, maybe a fight with Rose Namajunas.
Ooh, that'd be a fun one.
Could move her up to fight against Manon as well, or Alexa. Just for those like spots, since they're both on the fight. They were both on the same card. They could be, scheduled to fight another thing at the same point in time. That could be an interesting one if she wants to try and move up that ladder.
Yeah. Well, Rose is fighting Miranda Maverick next, so we'll see who wins that one. And I feel like if Rose wins, that'd be a tough call for her to fight her next. But if Maverick wins, I think they would make that fight fast.
Has she already fought her?
Miranda Maverick? Oh, maybe she has. Let me see. Yes, she lost to her.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Lots of fun stuff happening at Flyweight. There was one more fight that was kind of cool. And I actually got to talk to this guy before he fought Mike Malott.
Malott.
He actually corrected us on how to pronounce his name, but he fought was it Charles Radke?
Mm-hmm.
And there was like a lot of drama before that fight. Did you hear about it? Not even a lot of drama, but like they were trying to make it a thing.
Well, Radke has a big chip on his shoulder, and he wears it very proudly. So anybody that is going to fight
what
him,
happened to him?
He just, it's probably childhood stuff. It's probably why he fights.
He wasn't hugged.
He probably wasn't. But he's an exciting fighter. He always has the possibility of catching somebody with like his left hook or his right hand. He's put away his previous opponents that way. I actually had him picked to win this by knockout.
Okay.
Just because Mike Malott had showed up kind of not as
sharp
in his previous outings, but he used his length and his height advantage and got the win.
Oh, yeah. I think, he definitely looked just like a little faster, a little more in the pocket. And then when he was able to land, Yeah, he's just like a sniper in there.
He typically uses his kicks to keep people out, and then he'll get them to come in, and he'll counter with punches. But he was a lot more boxing forward this fight, and so I thought it would play to Radke's game plan, who likes to be in the pocket, who likes to press the action.
Yeah, it was a cool one to watch, and just like it was similar to the one somebody commented why we were talking about Jeremy like as if he died.
Fuck off, we love him.
Yes, we love him, but also he got to fight in his hometown.
Yeah,
and the same thing was happening with Mike Malott and Charles Radke. They made a big deal about Charles Radke saying, "Oh, I'm gonna make you pay for Canada booing the U.S. in that hockey game we were talking about the other day."
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make you guys pay for that by knocking out your guy in your hometown." So he really made himself what do you call it? Bad guy.
heel.
Yes, he really made himself a heel. And I mean, Mike Malott should thank him for that, because there were a lot of eyes on that fight, and it made the win so much bigger for him. Like, he's fought a lot in Canada already, but this one seems like the one with the most like crowd participation, the most adulation. Like, people were really excited about him getting that knockout, and you could hear it in the fans. You could hear it in his voice as he's like, you know, talking, doing his post-fight speech. It was a really cool moment to watch. So relax, guys. Like, we want that moment for everyone, and especially our friends. But it was cool to see Mike Malott be able to do that in front of his hometown.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So next week we have Burns versus Michael Morales. No relation to Spider-Man. Who you got for that one?
You know, I have not looked at footage of Morales, but I'm always rooting for Burns.
Yeah.
So he's my pick so far, but I'll have to do a little bit more investigation.
Your investigations may make you sad.
Oh no, don't do that, Angela.
This boy is on fire.
No,
Michael Morales, he is a son of a gun. Is he the one that fought Neil Magny? Yeah, he fought Neil Magny. It was a KO. It was really nasty. He's just good at finding knockouts anywhere. Like, I remember that one was like in the clinch. He hit a spinning elbow, just totally caught Magny off guard. And we've seen Gilbert Burns in his last fight versus Jack Della Maddalena. His pressure can get him hit against someone with good timing. So that one is a tough one. I'd want to watch more tape too, but I feel like Morales might have this one.
Well, yay.
But we shall see.
It's too early to be this sad, Angela.
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh, stop it.
I'm sorry, but there's a lot of kind of lesser known names on this card.
Oh, your boy's on this card in the co-main.
Who?
Craig.
Oh, Paul Craig. Paul Craig. Doing it for our Scottish people. Yeah. He's fighting Rodolfo, so that should be a fun grappling match.
Definitely.
I think it's a fair matchup to grapplers, one on all the juice.
Yeah, let's grapple this one. You know, we don't need two grapplers standing and striking with each other. I want to see a lot of this.
Yeah, a lot of rolling, a lot of tumbles.
I want to see a lot of attempts.
Yeah. And then fellow YouTuber Sadiq Youssef, he's going to be fighting Marion Santos. I don't know much about him either.
Oh, I think I remember him.
Okay.
He just had he's the one that said he actually lost. He won a decision against Marshall, and then he came back and said, "Oh, after watching it, I actually think that I didn't win."
Oh, what a good guy.
Yes, we like him.
Wow. So honest. You don't get that much these days.
No.
Yeah. Well, he'll be fighting Sadiq Youssef, who's coming off of a couple losses. So good skill to Sadiq. Let's get back in the win column. And any other ones you're excited about on this card?
That's kind of it. But I'm gonna have to do a little digging and fight watching, because this one is kind of a sleeper for me.
It is, but those are always the best fights, I think. The sleeper cards. Oh, and almost missed this one. We have a strawweight fight between Tisha Pennington and Luana Pinheiro.
Oh.
Yeah. So I fought both of these girls, Tisha twice. And it's an interesting matchup because Luana is more of a grappler, but she didn't really grapple in her last fight versus Jillian. She throws bombs. She tries to close the distance and then gets to a hip throw or gets to some kind of like takedown. And then Tisha is a little like Natalia Silva where she tries to hit and then disappear. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering who's going to connect in this one.
I think Tisha's going to give Pinheiro some problems.
Yeah.
Just stylistically, Pinheiro likes to close the distance. I haven't seen her being great with cutoffs. Hopefully she's working on that. But Tisha can be really elusive. She can just be like a lot of energy.
Yeah. One thing, they're both like kind of smaller strawweights too. So I think you might see a strength advantage with Tisha. Like she's pretty stocky. She likes to bounce in and out, but she uses that side kick a lot. And she has been using takedowns a little bit too. Like she's been getting more into hitting a double leg just to seal the deal at the end. We haven't seen her fight a ton since she's been back from having a baby, but she went to a pretty close decision with Carla Esparza last, and then she lost the decision against Tabitha Ricci, but I feel like that one was pretty close. Like I thought she could have taken that on the scorecard. So this will be an interesting one, and Tisha gets to get back into that win column and show people what she's all about. So we will be tuning in for that one, first fight on the card, and we'll see you guys next week to talk about it.
Yes.
It's been another 2 Straws.
See ya.
Bye.